Good evening, everyone. My name is Terry Rooch, and this is Serious Automotive Training. This is number 11 on my YouTube series for Pennsylvania motor vehicle safety inspection and or recertification. Currently in Pennsylvania, the mechanics, station owner, or the technician for that case, could be pursuing initial certification at a vocational school, or they could be recertifying through the Pennsylvania Training Portal, patrainingportal.com, to renew or to acquire their initial certification card as a mechanic for Pennsylvania vehicle safety inspection. As a prior instructor, teacher, and a DoD contractor teaching military, allow me to fortify you with the greatest information from Serious Automotive Training. My information does not come from PennDOT itself. I pull information from the Department of Motor Vehicle website, their bulletins, their publications, and from prior teaching seminars and experiences certifying hundreds of motor vehicle safety inspection mechanics in Pennsylvania. Again, why is it important to you? Because the initial certification is good for 3 years. So after someone attends their initial course to become a certified safety inspection mechanic, they now have to recertify online through the Pennsylvania Training Portal, which will give them 5 years. So first is 3, recertification will be every 5. So allow me to introduce the book to you again through my modules, where you could best be fortified to hit the challenges of taking these tests. So today what we're going to do is we're going to jump right back into publication 45. Make sure you have the newest edition, 11 of 17 of publication 45. This is the Vehicle Equipment Inspection Regulations Manual. We're in subchapter B. This is for station requirements. So basically, how to become a station. So what we'll do is we'll follow through with a few of the topics. We're going to make reference to publication 45 with this. We're also going to talk about some bulletins here from May of 11, August 94, and July of 89. Bulletins are great information. They never get deleted. They're still applicable. They get updated, but they're real world information for you. So let's start with the MV427 form. The MV427 currently has a date of 7 of 15. You have to have the current update if you're going to be using this to apply for a certificate of appointment. So actually the 427 form is the application to become a certified inspection facility. So the form becomes the certificate of appointment once PennDOT gives you the stamp of approval. So the certificate of appointment, the date is an MV427. It changed. Now they're asking you for information on the size of your inspection area, so some dimensions. They want to know the number of bays. So this form gets updated every few years. We'll talk more about the form a little bit. Again, for station requirements, we're going to talk about the 4 required signs. The first one we hit on already, which is the MV427. Once you're up and running as a station, this is the first required sign that I have listed here that you need to have inside the station. Inside. So the certificate of appointment will be the form. Next, let's jump down to the inspection fee. So now you have to have posted fees for the customer, with fees for the labor for the inspection, pass or fail, plus the fee separate for the cost of the sticker. Of course, that's the $4.50 fee right now, so that the customer could pay knows how much they have to pay for a replacement, how much they have to pay for a replacement sticker. Okay. So let's keep going down here. The TS443, or now it's an MV443, and the same thing with the 516 form. These forms, this one here I like to use, is for emission inspection stations. It's just a list of all the mechanics. The 443 is the same thing. You need to have this posted. So we're up to number 3 here. This is the list of all the mechanics. The newest form is dated 4/17. That needs to be displayed inside your station to show the public, or to show PennDOT who's authorized to do the inspections in your facility. Okay? Last but not least, it's our Keystone sign. Again, the old ones read Department of Revenue. 1929, Pennsylvania was the first. Now that we're all the way up to the Department of Transportation, these are the signs that are hung outside. Okay? Next, we're going to talk about inspection area. So to become an inspection facility, the requirement is to have a designated bay or bays. So the inspection area, number one, no dirt. You can't have a dirt floor. Number two, you cannot have more than a 1% slope. And the other one I like to point out here, along with the other requirements that we see in publication 45, is you can have a hoist or a lift. So you can have a drive-on hoist or a lift inside your inspection area or bay, as long as you can do a complete inspection. English. Yo hablo español, yo parlo italiano, and y hablas por-ruski chuchu. So I speak a few languages. That's great. In Pennsylvania, we currently have regulation that states, right from publication 45, that the English language should be comprehensible. The applicant and each inspection mechanic shall be sufficiently versed in the English language to read and understand this title. So what does that mean to you? There is information from the state about having the test translated from a different language, which is in black and white, but you do not have to be a solely English-speaking person to be able to maintain an inspection station. They're saying that you need to sufficiently understand the title. So, take it for what it's worth. I explain it to you, it's in black and white. So, we go back down to the area here. So, the dimensions of your inspection area. There's three big ones you have to remember. 12 by 22 if you have an approved headlight aimer. 12 by 43 if you have that big screen that needs to be 25 feet in front of the headlights, which you could still buy for $100. 12 by 55 if you are an approved trailer station. How do you know you're a trailer station? Well, guess what? It's right here on the 427. It'll say if you have a trailer station. Very good. Keep going here. We're going to talk about the tools for a little bit. So the required tool list is in subchapter B. A couple tools I like to talk about. A hole punch is a required tool for one reason. Avoided sticker. You're doing an inspection, you drop a sticker on the floor, you put the insert on the wrong side, whatever the scenario, you have to maintain that for the audit. To make it unusable, you take the hole punch a hole in it. That's why it's a required tool. They changed the definitions for a motorcycle. Now it can have 4 wheels in contact with the ground. So previously it was 2 or 3. You can have 4 wheels in contact as long as those 2 on the back are the outriggers that are lowered to support someone riding a very large bike. Those outriggers or stabilizers have ball joints. So eventually Pennsylvania is going to add a ball joint tool to the required list to become a station for motorcycles, because you will need to check the ball joints inside those stabilizers. Coming down a path. Real important here when you're doing inspections, make sure you remember this. Maximum per hour. 2 vehicles. So anything but a motorcycle. Or 3 motorcycles per hour. Again, these are station requirements. Let's jump in here to our bulletins. 3 bulletins I want to throw at you. Let's start with the first one here. This is the newest one from May of 2011. Inspection bulletin. Reporting station changes. So, change of ownership, trade name, you add or delete a station type, you change your location, address, pretty much change of authority. Whatever you're changing, they're telling you you got 5 days. Notify your quality assurance officer within 5 days of the change. Real important, May of 2011. 2 other important ones that I want to talk about here. The other one has to do with, again, change of ownership. This goes back to July of '89. Inspection station change of ownership. So what they're telling you here in black and white, in this bulletin, it's not necessary to surrender the certificate of appointment, the stickers, or anything else if you are changing into a partnership, if you are incorporating a business, if you're transferring the controlling interest into a corporation, or the important one here, if you are transferring the ownership to a spouse, child, or parent. So real important there. It's in black and white, July of '89. The quality assurance guy will come in, he'll refill out the new 427 for you, and you'll roll right through. You won't have to reapply. So I showed it to you, black and white. Next one is proof of garage liability. So you're going to have to carry $10,000 of insurance or a $10,000 bond for the station requirement. August of '94. It hasn't changed. Proof of garage liability. It says they're reminded if they update or renew this policy or this bond that you need to let the quality assurance officer know right away. So real important information here. The one last thing I wanted to show you, another tool that's required if you have a utility trailer, they require you to have a low current multimeter to check for the draw for pulling the trailer brakes. So that tool was added to the list for utility and recreational trailers. So again, let's cover what we talked about for subchapter B for station requirements. We talked about the MV427. Don't get it confused with anything else. 427, certificate of appointment. There's the date. We talked about the 4 required signs. The 427 now becomes the appointment instead of the application. Some criteria here for your inspection area. English. Hey, you heard it from me. You could have a translator to take the test, although the state won't pay for it. We talked about the dimensions here for your inspection area. The ball joint tool that's coming out and the other two I showed you. 2 vehicles, anything but motorcycles, you could do 3 per hour. And we talked about the different bulletins here. Any questions for me, give me an email, SERIUSAUTOTRAINING@yahoo.com. Follow me on LinkedIn or just reply to my videos on YouTube. Again, this is Terry Rooch from Serious Auto Training. Thanks and have a great day.